Day, good day, ladies and gentlemen, personalities. Today we are doing analytical geometry, and we are doing just one thing, calculating the gradient, that is m. So by the end of this video, a short video, the only thing that you should know is how do you calculate the gradient m. How to calculate m. All right. So, by the way, my name is Mqondisi Macaba, and I'm coming from Tembela Maths. And then Tembela Maths is an organization that helps learners to understand mathematics. All right. Now, let's say you are given such a problem. They say to you, calculate the gradient of the line. Okay, this is what I want to emphasize. The gradient is gradient of a line. You will have a line first, and then there will be a gradient of that particular line. Okay, so you are supposed to calculate the gradient of the line that passes through let's say we are given a point, say 1 versus 8 and 2 versus 6. Okay, so these are the points where this line passed through, and you are requested to calculate the gradient, right? So the question is, how do you go about doing that? Okay, so you've got 2 points. This is point number 1 and this is point number 2. Now in point number 1, you've got x value of point number 1 that we will refer to as x1, and then there is a y value of point number 1 which we'll refer to as y1, right? And then on a second point, we'll have an x value of the second point that we'll refer to as x2, and then there is also a y of the second point that we'll refer to as y2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, personalities, whenever you are calculating the gradient that of a line that passes through any point, the only thing that you should do is to pick any 2 points, just 2 points, it does not matter, any 2 points. Now, when you pick up those 2 points, you will then identify the first, the x of the first point, the y of the first point, and then also the x of the second point and the y of the second point. And then what do you then do after that? You will then write the formula for the gradient. Now, what is the formula for the gradient? The formula of a gradient is a very straightforward formula which says m is equal to what? Okay, let me just use another color because this one is dwindling. I do not know why. All right, so we have m, which is equal to, now m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a formula that you use to calculate what? To calculate the gradient of a line. All right, you just identify 2 points and then you find the x and y of each point, and then you put in this formula. Okay, let us use this formula. You then say, okay, now our y2 is what? Is 6. You have 6 here, and then minus, and then our y1 is 8. Okay, so 6 minus 8, and then you divide, and then what is our x2? x2 is 2 minus what is our x1? X1 was here, and then our x1 is 1, right? And then this will then give us what? This will then give us 6 minus 8, that is minus 2, and divided by 2 minus 1, that will give us 1, and then this means our final answer is minus 2. So therefore m is equal to what? Minus 2. So ladies and gentlemen, personal analysis, that is what you do. That is how you calculate the gradient of a line between any points. All right, you just pick any 2 points, but those points must just make sure that they lie on the graph. And then what you then do, you then calculate the distance. You take those points and then you put them on a formula of a gradient, and then you come up with something like this. All right. Okay. Now, let us do one more example just to consolidate things and then close jobs. Okay. Now, let's say now you are given another point, and then now they say through this point, and then they say A is what? They say it's minus 5 versus minus 9. And you've got point B, which is what? Which is 3 versus 2. Okay, so how to calculate the gradient of the line that passes through these 2 points? All right, let's then take the personalities. You do exactly the same thing as the one that you did earlier. What do? You identify the first point, which is this one, and then the x of the first point, which is x1, and then this one is y1, and then this one is x2, this one is y2, and then you then say y2, which is 2 minus, and then you say y1. Now y1, guys, please be note that y1 is negative. So because it's negative, you must open a bracket and then put this minus 9 inside here. Okay, and then divide it by, and then x2, where is x2? x2 is 3 minus, because the formula is minus, and then now you've got x1. Now x1 is minus 5. Now you must put this minus 5 here, right? And then, so from here, you can just put this thing in a formula, literally like this, and then you can actually find the answer. Okay, but if we just want to do it manually, we can say 2. This will lead us to 2 plus, because minus is plus, you remember that, and then 2 plus 9, and then divided by, and then you've got 3 plus what? Plus 5, and then 2 plus 9, what are you going to get? You're going to get 11, and then divide by, and then 3 plus 5 is going to be 8. So m is equal to 11 over 8. Now this is your gradient. So your gradient can be any number. It can be a negative number, it can be a positive number, it can be a fraction, whatever kind of a fraction. It doesn't matter, as long as you have just substituted appropriate values, then everything is fine. So ladies and gentlemen, personalities, this is how you go about calculating what? Calculating the distance. Not the distance, I'm talking nonsense. Calculating the gradient of a line that passes through this point that are given. Okay, now there's something that I'll let you about. Okay, so I want you to note that the m that we got here was 11 over 8. Let's just put it here. I want to emphasize something. So we had m, which was equal to 11 over 8. Okay, so okay, I can't see this m properly. Let's just put it here. Okay, now I can see it. Okay, Still can't see it. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Now we're sorted. All right, now let's continue. I want to alert you to something. That is just another way of presenting. You can present it like this, but there is another way in which you can present this thing. So you are going to choose yourself, because you are the master of your own destiny. That is what I believe in. You're going to choose which one are you going to follow, but all of them work. So you've got a point, and then this point has been named. It's called A. You can then say this is X of point A, and then you can say that this is Y of point A, and then say this is X of point B, and then this is Y of point B. And then instead of having y2 minus y1, then you will then have what? You'll have something else. You'll have m, which will be equal to what? Will be equal to yb minus ya divided by what? Divided by xb minus xa. All right. So when you finish here, you will then have a formula like this. This is a formula of a gradient of AB. Okay. So YB, what is YB? It is YB is 2 and then YB minus YA minus 9, and then over XB, which is, where is XB? XB is 3 minus, where is XA? XA is minus 5. And then guys, we've already calculated this. Okay, for argument's sake, okay, we've already calculated this, guys. You can put it on a calculator to test it if I'm not talking nonsense, but eventually you will get 11 over what? Over 80. Okay. Now what is this? What is this? This is nothing but another way of representing the gradient of a line between the points that are outlined here. And you see we got the same answer. It's just that the way we are presenting it now is different than the way that we presented it with earlier, right? But at the end of the day, we get one and the same thing. So ladies and gentlemen, personalities, thank you very much for tuning in, and enjoy your lovely day. Thank you. Goodbye.